Good morning, everyone. Well, for many in Nebraska, it's going to be all snow today, but for the southeastern part of the state, we're talking about the possibility of freezing rain and sleet as well. So let's break things down, starting at 8 a.m. this morning. And anywhere in purple that you're seeing on this map is where that mix is. Now, this is a true wintry mix. At any time, it could be snow, freezing rain, or sleet coming down. But we're getting some indications now of what is most likely of the three at certain times. Now, early this morning, in that shade of purple, which does include Kearney, Grand Island, Columbus, Omaha, Lincoln, Beatrice, I think sleet is most likely early this morning. Could be a little bit of freezing rain, could be a little bit of snow, but I do think sleet is going to be most common. Those little tiny balls of ice pellets coming down. Now let's jump ahead to 11 a.m. And again, for a lot of folks in the blue, it is all snow. In fact, by 11 a.m., I think Kearney and Grand Island transitioning to all snow and not in the mix anymore. But the mix continues. Columbus, Lincoln, Beatrice, Omaha, and at this point, particularly it looks like late morning, early afternoon, this is the best chance for freezing rain, where it's going to look like rain coming down, but there's the possibility that once that rain hits the surface, the temperature's right at that right point where we could see it change over to ice. But the good thing is it doesn't look like a very long period where freezing rain is the most likely precipitation type, because I think by the time we get to 2 o'clock, it's back to sleet being most likely in the shade of purple. And notice probably at this point changing over to mostly snow in Columbus, but mostly sleet, I think, Lincoln, Beatrice, Omaha. By the time we get to 5 o'clock, I'm still going to mention the chance for a mix, but I do think for Beatrice, Lincoln, Omaha, notice that in general, precipitation is kind of drying out. I don't think there's going to be as much activity, but if it's coming down, I think it's most likely going to be snow at this point. And I do think that by the time we get to 8 o'clock, we're not talking about a mix anymore. This is now an all snow event. And notice we're still talking about scattered snow showers across state, maybe some pockets of heavy snow, but this is mostly going to be light to moderate snow shower activity. You know, the best chance of snow for Lincoln and Omaha, our actual accumulating snow, looks to be about 11 o'clock tonight. And I'm not buying what the model is showing here, that purple coming back. I think it's just going to be all snow at this point. I don't think we're going to get the mix coming back at this point. So best chance for snow, snow coming down to Lincoln and Omaha, about 11 o'clock. By the time we get to 2 a.m., notice how we have dried out in much of the state. It's going to be limited to the northeastern part of the state. And by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, I think the last of the flurry is coming to an end, and we are completely dry. So let's talk about how much freezing rain that we have to go. And notice that it is limited to Beatrice, Lincoln, Omaha, the most southeastern part of the state. I think we're going to avoid the freezing rain. Now, there could be some sleet, Columbus, Grand Island, Kearney, but actual accumulating freezing rain, flat ice, I think it's going to be limited. Omaha, Lincoln, Beatrice. And fortunately, again, because that window is so short, late this morning through early this afternoon, we're only talking about a few hundredths of an inch of ice accumulation. So yes, that's enough for a glaze of ice on your windshield. That's a possibility. A little bit of ice on plants, but ice on outdoor furniture, and maybe some isolated icy spots on bridges and overpasses, but not widespread icy roads. So that's some good news there. Now, how much snow? And look at the gradient for how much snow is still to come. You know, for Beatrice, Lincoln, Omaha, I think we're looking at a dusting to a half an inch, and that's it. You go just a little bit to the north and west, and you're looking at Kearney, Grand Island, Columbus, half an inch to an inch and a half, and it keeps going up from there. McCook, North Platte, 2 to 3 inches. Scotts Bluff, Mullen, Broken Bow, 4 to 5 inches, and when you go up to the north and west, look at that, 7, 8 inches more snow to go. Valentine and Chadron. Now, I wish we could stop there, but one thing I haven't talked about, the temperatures. And today you can see why there's a mix in the southeastern part of the state where highs are going to still reach the low to mid 30s, but boy, you go to the north and west, and because it's so cold, that's why these, you know, this is going to be a really light, fluffy snow that's going to be piling up quickly for places like Chadron and Valentine. That's why those snow totals so high, because look at the high, just 4 degrees in Chadron and Valentine. Scotts Bluff, 7 degrees. And notice there's a wind chill factor no matter where you are. Now, the strongest winds to the east, Lincoln, Omaha, gusts around 35 miles per hour, and over in the Panhandle, gusts just around 20 miles per hour, but that's also where the coldest temperatures are, so look what it's actually going to be feeling like this afternoon. A lot of folks, central, western Nebraska, feels like temperatures this afternoon below zero. The best place, southeastern part of the state, but we're still talking about a significant difference between the temperatures and what it's going to be feeling like, only feeling like the upper teens, low 20s in the southeastern part of the state. And tonight, of course, getting worse. Look how a lot of folks now are going to be seeing temperatures 0 or below, and we're talking about the warmest spot being around Beatrice, Omaha, 8-9 degrees, and though the wind's coming down from where they're going to be this afternoon, gusts ranging from 10 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour, and that is enough wind everywhere for a wind chill factor. So especially late tonight, early tomorrow morning, if you're heading out the door early tomorrow morning, this is what you need to be prepared for. Across the state, we're looking at a range, southeastern part of the state, wind chills around -10, but there are going to be some places, especially up to the north and west, they could see wind chills reach as low as -30, and so averaging around -20. And when you have wind chills around -30, we're talking about frostbite occurring in just 20 minutes, and even with wind chills around -10, frostbite can occur in 40 minutes. So absolutely, no matter where you are in the state, early tomorrow morning if you're venturing out, layer up hats and gloves and try and spend as little time outside as possible. Finally, we're talking about high temperatures tomorrow afternoon, and we'll warm up, but not nearly enough. Temperatures way below normal. In fact, look at Valentine, maybe not getting above zero. Probably the most common temperatures are going to be low, mid, upper teens. But look how the winds pick up a little bit, not as windy as today, but gusts around 15 miles per hour in the Panhandle and increasing to where it's still going to be windy. The eastern part of the state gusts around 30 miles per hour. So, of course, what is it actually going to be feeling like tomorrow afternoon? And look how for a lot of us, the feels like temperatures are not going to get above zero. At the best, we're looking at feels like temperatures around 5 degrees for places like McCook and Beatrice.